All right. So what I was telling you that we are going to discuss about the time control today. So you might be playing the tournament on the weekend that is online tournament, or you might have played some offline tournament, but everything comes with the time control, right? You'll have some fixed time for to play each and every move. Say for example, if I tell you that you have to finish a game in say 15 minutes plus 10-second increment, that means 40 minutes the game is going to finish, right? 40 to 50 minutes max. So you cannot use there more time than that. You have only 15 minutes plus with some increment. Now the question is how to manage this time. So what after a lot of time what happens, I believe like all of you will agree with me that what happens here, you will start, you'll say, oh, I have only 15 minutes, and you finish the game, and then you realize I still have 40 minutes left in my clock, right? So did the optimum utilization of your time? Thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no, right? I know some of you have some questions. I'll unmute you later. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to unmute everyone. But for now, so you have not utilized the time ideally, right? You have not done the optimum utilization. But a lot of time, what you do, you try to use more time, and then you realize at the last you just made 20 moves and you are left with 20 seconds, right? You have maybe you have a lot of you are not even you are just in the middle game and you are left with maybe 20 seconds or 1 minute. That means in the end game you are in time pressure. Correct? That happens to everyone. Does it happen or not? Thumbs up. If yes, that's the thumbs up. Right? That happened to everyone. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you how to manage this time more efficiently. Okay? So I'm just sharing my screen. So again, whoever is able to understand this, well and good. If you're not, don't worry, I'm going to take you like in way too much details. Okay? So basically what I mean, I will take an example same as of the upcoming nationals. Okay? That is 15 minutes plus 10-second increment. That's going to happen in Singapore next week. So like let's say 15 minutes means how many seconds you have? 900 seconds roughly, correct? Yes, guys, again thumbs up. You know how to go ahead, okay? Just thumbs up. So you have 900 seconds to finish the game. Plus you have 10-second increment means whenever you press the clock, you get 10 seconds extra in your clock. Okay, so you mean you have 900 seconds plus 10 seconds for every move that you play. That means the game you can divide in 3 parts: opening, middle game, and end game. Okay, like this one I'm telling you very fast. After 2 minutes I'm going to tell you again in more details. Okay, don't worry about it. If you get confused, don't worry about it. I'm going to explain you again. Okay, the one game that you play has 3 parts: opening, middle game, and end game. So ideally opening will last for 10 moves, middle game will last for 20 moves, and end game will last for 30 moves, or maybe 10-20 moves extra, right? Or maybe sometime it can go even longer, but I'll say on an average it lasts for 30 moves, right? So 10% time you have to spend on opening. So again, tell me one thing: first move, how many seconds do you take to play first move? Do you take 1 minute to play first move? Answer is no. You barely take 1 second. Correct? Second move, how much time do you take to play second move? Again, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, unless opponent plays something very weird that we have to think. Okay, unless that happens, you like in ideal case, you don't take more than 1 or 2 seconds, right? So I'm assuming that you have to spend 10% of your total time of 900 seconds in the opening. That is for first 10 moves. That gives you 90 second. What I think I have written it incorrectly. That gives you 90 seconds for the 10 moves. That means 9 seconds per move. Right? So just ignore this. It's not per move. It gives you 90 seconds. That means 9 seconds per move. Okay. But don't forget about this 10-second increment. You also get 10 seconds whenever you press the clock, right? That means how much time are you going to play one move in the opening? That is 19 seconds. Right? So again, even if you feel the answer is very simple, sir, it is way too simple. Come on, I know what to play. Still, there's no harm in spending some extra few extra seconds and think again, what exactly do I need to play there? Okay. Same goes with middle game. I expect you to spend 30% of your total time on middle game. That will be 270 seconds for 20 moves. That will come up with increment 23.5 seconds. Okay, coming to the next part, that is end game. That will you have to spend most number of your time. Again, end game, what happens? The number of pieces are very less, right? So again, you will say, sir, the calculation will also be less. Answer is the calculation will be more in the end game. Okay, and you know that already. I think whoever is playing the tournament more seriously will already know that in end game you have to play like a machine. You can't afford even a single mistake in end game, right? So that's why you have to spend 60% of your time, that is 540 seconds for 30 moves. That will come up nearly 28 seconds per move. Okay, including increment. So again, even if you feel the answer is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, still don't play it. Spend that 28-30 seconds. Okay. Now, before I explain you again in more details, I'm again anyways we're going to do it in more detail. I think we have a couple of questions. Let's take those questions. And guys, if you have questions like, okay, sir, how do we identify its opening, middle game, end game? I'm going to tell that. Okay. Yes, Nithila.
I'm a little confused on how to like differentiate between opening, mid game, and end game.
When you enter those position, do you mean that part, right?
Yeah, like how you
Allow me 15 minutes, you will get your answers. Okay. Yes, Vihan.
You always say we should use so much time, so whenever I play, I get more time from the original time.
Exactly. That is because of the increment that you have. Okay. So whenever you press the clock, you get 10 seconds extra. Right. That's when we have to utilize the 10 seconds efficiently so that we don't end up, playing fast and doing a mistake. Again, there's no harm in doing a cross check, doing a second check, doing a third check. Okay. It's always good.
Sir, I was also saying that, sir, whenever the game ends, sir, I don't get it. Sir, I always have more time from the one I started from.
That's how you should not do. That's why we have this session. Okay. All right. Avisha.
Yes, sir. So I calculated all the time that you actually right now said that we should, but I was getting like 71 seconds.
For per move.
Yes, sir.
No, I think there's some mistake in the calculation. Again, I'll tell you that once again. Okay. All right. Okay. So again, let me again share my screen. This time I'll share a whiteboard. Okay. So basically, think of it this way. So you started the clock, right? How much time you had? You had 15 minutes plus 10 seconds increment, right? That means 10 seconds every time you play a move, you'll get 10 seconds addition, right? The online tournament that you play on Saturdays and Saturdays evening, that actually gives you 15 plus 5 second increment. That means every time you press the clock, you'll get 5 seconds extra. Okay. So let's see how to use this time more efficiently, right? So say middle game, opening. Let's start say opening. All right. Sorry if the spelling is wrong. Okay. Opening usually lasts for some 8 to 10 moves. Okay. I'll select the higher side, that is 10 moves. Okay. Now again, how to identify the openings? Again, you know the opening principle, right? Every one of you know the opening principle. If you have developed all your pieces, your king is safe, castled and safe, right? That means your opening is done. Your rooks are connected. That means your opening is done. That usually takes 8 to 10 moves, right? Then comes the middle game. Now, how to identify the middle game? Middle game means your opening is completed, all the pieces are developed, and now there's a lot of pieces in the center who are doing a lot of fights. Okay, this is how you identify the middle game. Then how this middle game normally lasts for 15-20 moves. I'll again take on the higher side, that is 20 moves, and finally we have the end game. Okay, now how to identify if it is an end game? End game, what happens? Most of the pieces are already exchanged. Okay, again, middle game can even last for 40 moves. I'm not saying it will only go for 20 moves. Okay? I'm just saying an example. So say end game, what happens? A lot of your pieces are exchanged. Say both the bishops are gone out of the board, both the knights are out of the board. You just left with two rooks and queen. Like, do you have nearly half number of the pieces on the board, or less than half number of pieces? This is your sign that you are into end game. Okay, and end game might normally or ideally can go on to until 30 moves. Again, these numbers may vary, right, or not may. It will vary in every game. And just giving an example to you. Okay, so how do you have to plan your times? So again, you have 15 plus 10. That means 15 minutes per move also means you have 900 seconds. Correct? 15 minutes means you have 900 seconds. Correct? So I want you to spend 10% of your time. Okay, I want you to spend 10% of your time on the opening. That means 10% of 900 seconds will be 90 seconds. Per move will be 9 seconds, right? But as soon as you press the clock, you will get 10 seconds extra, correct? So how much time do you have per move? That is 19 seconds per move. In the opening, doesn't matter how simple the opening is, you have to spend that 19 seconds. Okay, don't try to play fast, don't try to rush, don't try to delay anything there. Okay, but one exception is there. Say you played e4, e5, and f3 and c6, opponent played h4, something very weird. You never expected this kind of opening. Okay, now forget all the rules. Okay, these rules are in the ideal case. Now, since opponent has played something different, now you have to spend maybe 5 minutes just to think on one single move. Okay, if opponent has played something differently at any point of the game. Okay, this one, what I'm telling you is just for the time management. Okay, But if opponent goes with something weird, something that you feel that, okay, I need to spend time thinking here, then you have to spend time. Then you can't say, sir, I'm going to play, I have to play in 19 seconds. It is not maximum, it is minimum. Right? When I said 19 seconds, it is a minimum time that you have to spend, not maximum. Maximum you can spend even 5 minutes. I'm fine with that. All right. Any questions here? Right. So per move, how much? So this is per move. I'm just right. Okay, leave it. So how much time do you have? 19 seconds per move. Okay. Now coming to the middle game, this will last for 20, this one. And how much time did I told you? You have to spend nearly 30% of the time. Again, these numbers are just like based on my experience. You can have your own times based on this. I know a lot of you have questions. I'll come to that part. Okay, just give me 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. So how much time do you have to spend it? Like 20 moves and 30% of time. That means you have so roughly around 270 seconds to play this 20 moves, right? That comes to roughly 13.5 seconds per move. Plus you have the increment as well. That means you will get 23.5 seconds per move. Okay. Now coming to the end game part, here you are going to play 30% of the move in 60% of the time. That will be 540 seconds. Okay, I'm going to send you that chat to your WhatsApp as well, to all of you as well. Okay, in case you don't receive, just reach out to me. I will send you across again. So what you can do in this case, you will get around 540 seconds to play 30 moves. That comes to roughly 18 seconds per move. Plus increment, that will be 28 seconds per move. Okay, so when you have started the game, first move, obviously you have prepared for that, right? I don't want you to spend 19 seconds for the first move. Play the first move right away. Second move, if it is very normal, play it right away. But after that 8 moves, you have to spend that 19 seconds. Doesn't matter how simple that move is. I want you to spend that 19 seconds there. Okay, middle game, again, you might see, sir, I just captured the knight, I'm going to give him a fork. It might be that simple. Still, I want to spend that 23 seconds to think. Okay, if not 23, at least spend that 20 seconds. Okay, and again, this is not the maximum time, this is the minimum time that you have to spend. In case you get you feel that opponent has played something very weird, that's when you will start thinking more. Maximum you can go anywhere, but not minimum, not below this. Any questions until now? I know a lot of you have questions. I will unmute you. Okay, but other than that, everyone, are you able to understand this? Thumbs up if you got this. Okay, and the people who are without their videos, come on, turn their cameras on. Okay, so let me ask questions one by one. Arohi, tell me.
Sir, every time when I play in the in class, sir always does the tournaments in which everyone plays against each other. In that time, I play with every time I play with somebody in that, I always lose my time.
Okay, so very fair point. For that one, basically, what I would recommend, I actually forgot to tell one part. So whenever you are you have less than 2 minutes in your clock. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to play on the increments. So you have 10-second increment. Now you have to play per move, maybe 10 to 12 seconds or 15 seconds, not more than that. Okay. Whenever you're less than 2 minutes in 15-minute game, right now it's a time for you to maybe play a little faster. Okay. And again, this time management is entirely because, say, if you try to play fast in the start and you do a mistake, end game, you'll not have sufficient pieces to even think of, right? That's why we try to have initial phase very strong. So the end game, even if we have less time, our position is so strong that we can still play fast and win. All right. Okay. Kashyap.
Still have the question, when is the tournament?
Kashyap, not now. We'll discuss that later. Okay. Okay. Avisha.
Sir, I wanted to ask two things, sir. First, what do you mean by 23.5? 23.5.
That's a math. Again, you can call it 23 seconds. You can call it 20.
No, sir, I know the decimal part, but I didn't understand how to convert the decimal into time.
That is 23 seconds. Just forget about that 0.5. If that's confusing you, remove it. Okay. So basically,
Sir, I also wanted to ask one more thing. Sir, that in the tournaments you make, you always have time of 7 minutes.
No, that is like just for practice that we might play during the game. But again, the normal tournament that you play on Saturdays, that will have 15 minutes. Okay. So the class tournament, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the actual tournament that you play, right? On the weekends. Okay. And again, a very fair question though. So say if the time control is not 15 minutes, 10 minutes, then now we'll start calculating. Now you have to do your own maths, divide the time based on the total time plus increment, right? And now you have to decide how much time you have per move. I just told you the maths, how to do that, right? You can do that maths for yourself. All right. Vihan.
Sir, in one game, the CKA tournaments only, sir, I saw that the end game lasted for like 90 moves.
It might go ahead. So it might go even ahead. So again, I personally have played a game that went for around 130 moves. Right. So if that happens, then you have to play on the increment in the last phase. Okay. Plus you have to maintain some time. Again, in such case, what again, one more thing that happens, the middle game might last for a bit longer. Okay. So that is also a sign. Okay. Now you have to like save some more time. And this is what you will understand with the experience. As
Sir, it was end game. Sir, it was end game.
Yes. End game might, again, there might be a lot of complications in end game, right? But again, it even can last very longer. But given now we have like a lot of rules like in place, that 50 moves rule and things like that, that will not let the game go for 200 moves. It will never go that long, right? It might not even go 150 moves, right? So again, that is something you will learn with experience, how to manage the time that happens there. Okay. Anyways, even I'm going to guide you through on that part as well, but let's not cover it right now because that might be too much for others.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Nithila.
Sir, I still don't really get like how you identify like the opening.
Okay. All right. Tell me. So you know the opening principle, right?
Yeah.
So once you develop your minor pieces, once you connect your rooks, once you castle, right? This is the opening principle part, correct? Doesn't matter what opening you play. Correct. So once you have done your development, initial development, that is when the opening is done. Opening is completed.
Okay.
Okay. Then that's when you enter the middle game. Now, the time when you exchange a lot of pieces on the board, say 2-3 pawns are gone, 2 knights are gone, 1 bishop is gone, 1 rook is gone, right? Something like that. Now it's a time that you are into end game. Okay. One more sign of end game, the rooks like usually comes out to play the main part in the game, right? That's one more sign that you can identify it with. But again, that's not a thumb rule, right? It's not a thumb rule that it's always the case. All right.
Okay.
Again, still if you face, if you still are confused, just follow that number 10, 20, 30. Okay. Try following that number initially, but with as and when you start playing more, you with experience you'll start getting that part, like what is opening, what is middle game.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Any other question, guys? Anyone has any other question? No questions? Seriously? Okay. Did you understood this topic 100%? Because trust me, this is something that's going to define how you go ahead and perform in the tournaments. All right. So Abhiram, I'll just come to you in just 1 minute. Okay, just give me a minute. Now, what I want you to do. So the next tournament that you will play for offline or online or offline or wherever the academy tournament or anything that you are going to play, I want you to go and sorry. I want you to go and apply this like this maths. Okay, all are good at maths, right? It's not that you're not good at maths. It's just plus and minus, right? And multiplication and division in some cases. All right, Abhiram, I think you had a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, sometimes the games go on for really long, for 2 hours.
Yes, that is when the time control is like lengthier. So this was 15 plus 30. 15 plus 10, right? So 15 plus 15, 30.
And it's like that.
20,
and if you have...
Abhir, I'm sorry, your voice is breaking. Okay, I got your question. I'll explain that part. Okay. But say what if your time control was 60 minutes, right? Plus 30-second increment per move, or 90 minutes plus 30-second increment per move. Right? Now this game will go even for 4 hours. Okay, because you have like very long time. And now the same thing you have to do in the game as well. Now, how are you still going to play per move in 19 seconds? Answer is no. Your per move in the opening itself will go for beyond 30 seconds. You can, or maybe a minute. right? Maybe a minute and a half per move in the opening itself. So again, that is how you have to determine how much time do you have total and how much are you going to like how is it going to work. Okay. Avisha, tell me.
Sir, I wanted to ask one thing. Still
Hmm.
forgot.
Okay, no worries, totally fine. So I'll just stop the recording for others.